kidding, man. It is time to lawyer up. Alex Begum is here, partner at Villarreal and Begum, and school time is right around the corner. Good to see you, sir.
Likewise.
Thanks for coming on. We want to talk about school buses and safety.
Yeah, folks always ask us, hey, what kind of accidents, what kind of tragedies do you all see sometimes in your line of work, right? And one of the biggest things that we see is that back to school, there's always an uptick of accidents, of tragedies. And the reason is because more miles are being driven, more cars are being driven on a daily basis. We're going back to school here in a week or two. Kids go back to school. Parents start taking their children to school every day. Kids start taking the bus every day. And there's some very basic safety principles that can be followed to avoid a lot of the tragedies that we see every day in our practice.
Okay. So obviously with traffic patterns changing and moms and dads having to get up a little earlier and, distractions, and what do you recommend for parents that have kids on buses? And
Right. Well, the very first thing is for buses, buses are big and yellow and slow for a reason. A lot of the very bad things we see in our practice really come from folks trying to either kind of race around a bus, beat it before the stop sign extends, or just distracted driving in general, where you have a bus where a lot of children are coming around it, getting on the bus. I always tell folks, when you see those things, stand up, park, drive up maybe 200 feet away from it, 150 feet away from it. You know that there are going to be children around. Some of them are in their age ranges of 4 to 6. They think that traffic will always stop for them. And so we call them dart out cases.
Dart out,
yeah. Where children sometimes dart out in front of the bus because you're just joking around or playing around. Those are the kinds of things that everyone needs to be a little bit more aware of.
Think like a child would and have their best interest at hand.
Right.
But you too need to pay attention.
Correct. And for those parents that are taking their children to the bus stops, there's some basic safety principles that you also want to exercise. One is educate your children about the dangers of traffic. Be at the bus stop 5 minutes early so that you and your child are not running to get somewhere in the haste of things. Make sure that you talk to your child about staying seated in the bus. A lot of people know this, but in Texas, school buses don't have seat belts. There's a reason for that why they don't, but they're dangerous. And so you need to have your child be seated. You need to make sure that they're quiet. These are things that really come from parent education.
It's a lot of good rules and a lot of good information. If the bus driver is distracted and can't enforce those, the kids need to know what to do.
Right.
Let's talk about the importance of child safety seats. And, of course, more obviously people are traveling more and getting up, and this early morning school schedule that's getting ready to start.
So people always ask me, first, what are the best child seats to buy? And I always tell them, go to the government websites that do the testing. CDC has a pretty good website. National Transportation Safety Board has a pretty good website on the top brands and how they rank on safety. Folks always ask me, where's the best place to put a child seat? The middle seat in the back, if you don't have 2 kids, is the safest place in the car.
It's the safest place in the car, yeah.
Absolutely.
Right there over the hump, and you're in the middle, away from the windows as far as possible on either side.
And folks always tell me, well, how should we buckle up the child? Should it be tight? Should it not be tight? Up to what ages? It's pretty...
Well, there are weight requirements, too, for all that. Having little kids in front seat travel and back seat travel, but the safest place is in the back seat. Follow the rules. Go to the website. Or you can call you, and you can educate.
And we'll be happy to. In fact, we've had some seminars on how to properly install the child seats.
That's a good thing. Now, why does that not surprise me? Because you have everybody's best interest at hand.
Well, a lot of it is accident prevention. We really do see some awful tragedies in our practice. And you come to a point where you say, we need to do something to prevent some of this from occurring.
That's it. Well, if you want to get in touch with Alex and his partner, 777-HURT. That's 4878 on your phone, 777-HURT. Hurt at VWLawGroup.com. Villarreal and Begum, and thank you for all the good information, sir. I could ask you questions all afternoon. We should come back and do an hour show on everything you wanted to ever ask a lawyer, because you know a lot of them and you got a lot of great answers too. Thank you.
I appreciate that.
For being
thank you
here
very
today.
much.
Straight ahead on SA Live, we're going to go shopping, and I think the most exciting thing to do is go look for history.